With a local business, the average local audience is like 30,000, 40,000 people. And if you narrow that down to women between ages of 25 and 55, it's probably half of that, 15 to 20,000 people. So just imagine if you're your ideal client, and every time you go on Facebook, you see 21-day rapid fat loss, or 21-day $21, 14-day rapid fat loss, 28-day summer slim down, New Year's resolution, 6-week transformation challenge for the same gym over and over. Every time they go on there, and it's like limited time only. We're only taking this many people. The clock's ticking. You have to join now. And they see that over and over and over again every time they go on Facebook. It's kind of like, imagine if you emailed your email list every day, that kind of email. You're going to burn out your email list. Well, the same thing is true with your audience on Facebook. So when you first start running Facebook ads, if nobody else in your area is running them, they usually work pretty well directly to the offer, because they haven't seen it before, right? But as time goes on, you start seeing the conversions going down, the costs going up. So what you need to do is the same thing that you do with with your email, is you have to send content. So you have to put out content. So I'll title this one, How to Beat Audience Fatigue. I even put audience and ad fatigue. So the first thing you have to do, which is obvious, which most people aren't doing enough of, is content. I can't talk about content enough. Content is king. Good content is really what king is. If you're putting out content that's boring, or that people don't, it's not helpful or useful for people, it's just rambling, they don't find it useful or entertaining, then they're going to get annoyed by that too. So make sure that your content is engaging, make sure it's high quality, make sure it's really helpful. Put your best stuff out there. If you check this page, I don't hold anything back. All my stuff is on this page for free. Everything I know, it's a mind dump. Every time I do an Ask Jeff show, I don't hold back. And people still hire me, to help coach them when if they search through all the videos, probably find the answer. But when they hire me, they're hiring me for more access to me and speed of finding the answer. I'm saving them the time of having to scroll through and listen to all that content. I can just tell them, point them in the right direction. Go to our agency and get this funnel. Here's this strategy. Here's that. And that's what they're paying for, is their time, the speed of being able to implement it. But I don't hold anything back. So you shouldn't hold anything back either with your content. And you can model what I do. If you're afraid, like you don't know what to do for content, you can do Ask Show. So it's ask, whatever your name is. Every time you talk to a client, anytime you get an email, somebody asking you a question about what they should eat, what the best exercise for this is, what do I do when I go on vacation, whatever, how do I choose a workout partner, just write those down. I take screenshots all the time when I see somebody ask a question on Facebook, even whether it's to me or somebody else. And I'll never run out of questions. So you should do the same. Every time a client asks you, every time you get an email, every time somebody asks you on Facebook, collect all those questions, and then once a week or whatever, answer 2 or 3 of them, and you have your Ask Show. So you just copy that. You can do one where you're doing testimonials. So you're bringing on case studies, call them hot seats, whatever you want to call it. And all you're going to do is bring on somebody that has already had success. You're going to ask them what they struggled with in the beginning, what their life was like before joining your program, what they struggled with, what it was like when they joined, like what information did they get, like what did we tell them to do, what they implement, how they were able to implement it, and what results they got from it. And every testimonial can turn into a content video. The other thing I used to do when I was making fitness content is, at the time, you can go online and do it now, I would just go to Barnes & Noble and just look at fitness magazines. All the subject lines on the cover have been highly tested as topics that people are interested in. So don't even look at the article, just take the topics and then just speak on them as a professional. Or you can read the articles and then give your professional opinion. Yes, I agree with it, or no, I don't agree with it, if you actually want to use the article. But I would just take the titles and then just make up my own blog posts, make up my own videos based off of the titles that were on the cover, and then I'd go through the table of contents as well. And that would give me a ton of content to be able to put out. The other thing is the news. You always want to play off the news. So like if The Biggest Loser had somebody that lost way too much weight and they look like they were going to die, and that's what's in the news, everybody's talking about it. Talk about it too, play off the news, give your opinion about it, and playing off the news is a great way to find content. But you have to put content out there, and if you're not, all you're putting out is offers. You're going to burn out your local audience. Your ads aren't going to convert as well. You're going to pay more to acquire the customer. this is a long-term play, because when you first start putting the content out there, one, you're not going to be good, so you got to put out enough bad stuff until you get good. Two, you're not going to have very many people watching. You might go live and have one person watching, or even zero. But you have to keep doing it, and eventually you get traction, and eventually it'll pay off. So just start putting content out there. Don't have any expectations about it. Just do it no matter what, and keep getting better at it, and keep finding a way to put more out there. You can always repurpose the content. If you do 3 questions on the Ask Jeff or the Ask Your Name show, you can chop that up into 3 different videos, post them 3 weeks later, and nobody knows what you talked about 3 weeks prior. It looks like brand new content. You can look at my page. That's what we do. Testimonials, you should always be getting new testimonials. So every time you do, get them on that show. Every month there's new magazines come out. Every day there's new news. So you're never going to run out of content to put out. Just create a production schedule and just start putting out content. After that, you want to boost the content. So right now it probably costs like $3, maybe even $4 or $5 to get an email opt-in. And for every 100 emails that you get an opt-in, 17 to 20, if you're good, will open it and see it. So if you do the math, let's just say it's $300 to get 100 of them, and it's $3 a piece, or it's $100 or $300 to get 100 of them, and only 20, open. How much is that costing you per email? A lot. But if you boost a video and you're getting 1 cent views, 2 cent views, now they're on that audience. You're boosting the content, and you're creating a custom audience. Every time people engage with your fan page, you can create a custom audience based off that engagement. And that's what you want to do. Just like you're emailing your email list content to build up that know, like, trust factor, getting them indoctrinated into your philosophy and your way of life and way of thinking about health and fitness. The same thing you're doing with a custom audience. All these people in the custom audience are consuming all of your content, learning more about you, learning more about the people that you're helping. And then, it's not a cold audience anymore. Now you're starting to have like a warm audience, which you can then send your low barrier offers to. So you're going to boost the content, create the custom audience, and then make the offer to the custom audience. So focus on content first, boost the content, and when you start boosting like your main content, all your other content starts getting traction, more organically. Because if you pay to have them watch the show, and everybody that watches the show, now the next time you put out a video or an image or whatever, a higher percentage of people that watch that show are going to see it organically. So you're going to see a lot more reach organically by boosting that content. So create the content, get good at it, boost it, create the custom audience, and then make them the offer to that custom audience. So now, that same 25 to 30,000 people that used to come onto Facebook, and every time they did is like 21 days this, 14 days that, 6 weeks this, offer, offer, offer. Start putting the blinders on and stop ignoring that. Now it's like they come on. It's like, hey, learn how to create your how to prep your meals for the week in 20 minutes or less. Or it's like, hey, check out this success story from how the single mom who works 2 jobs was still able to prepare her meals and get her workouts in. They're going to see all that stuff, all the content, which is intriguing and interesting and entertaining to them, and they're going to start to know, like, and trust you, and then you're going to make them the offer just like you would before. So the only time they see the offer is when they watch the content. And this is the most basic and simple way of doing content marketing with retargeting. Eventually what you want to do is you want to create content that is designed to go along with the offer. So you can make a video explaining what the afterburn effect is, and people that watch that video then get retargeted to the 14-day fat furnace, which is designed around the afterburn effect. See what I mean? That's a little bit more advanced. So just start here, and this is how you're going to make sure that all your promotions, all your low barrier offers can stay evergreen as long as you want, because the only time they see the offer is if they consume the content.